nice
so.
here, but it's hot
I'm
over
so sick
there.
of this shit. The heat, the heat.
Uh, I'm resident of Collinwood for YouTube, and we can take the heat, damn it. That is Tom Diamond. That is Vicki Ray. We're here to discuss the Time Tunnel, episode 12, uh, which is really interesting. We got dual Lincolns here. We got double Lincolns, I should say.
Yeah.
Um, which,
Yeah.
which was really cool. Actually, fun fact the guy who played Dr. Mixter in Halloween 2 plays Abe Lincoln in this thing.
That was driving me nuts. I could not place his face. I could not place his face. I go, who
That's
is
not
that?
Lee
And I
Bergeret, is it? That's not Lee Bergeret, is it? The one who played
get
Lincoln?
out here.
No, it was what's his
Ford
name?
Rainey.
Yeah, Ford Rainey.
Oh, Ford Rains. Because I
Yeah.
know they had a clip from one of the other movies where Lincoln was shot in the beginning. It was a totally different Lincoln.
Yes, it was
And
a totally different. I was confused for a second. I was because they said 1865, then it was 1861. I'm going, okay.
mhm. Well, I think that they came Anne comes up with a really good line where she says maybe he was killed in 1861 and they had somebody else imitate him for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
And that would have been very interesting to see. I thought that was a missed opportunity. I think they would have, that's an alternate history kind of thing. And I think that would have been, I think that would have been interesting to delve into. But suffice it to say, it was mentioned, and I thought that was pretty decent on their parts. I thought the episode, by the way, was pretty decent. Of course, it had your idle Tom Skerritt, Vicky.
He was
Uh,
33 years old. He was
there
33. I
you
think I
go.
know he was 91 years old now. I just always thought Tom Skerritt was never going to get old.
Oh
For
my
some reason.
God, he's
He's 91.
91.
He's doing good still.
Oh my God.
But he was
But he
33
was
in
on
this.
a number of westerns
Yeah,
in
he did
that
a
period of
lot.
time, wasn't he?
My favorite role, though, he's always going to be an alien. I loved him in Alien. Me and my husband were just talking about that before we got on. So we were going, oh, Tom Skerritt, you know. But he was great. That Alien is just an awesome movie, though. Just has to have Tom Skerritt in it.
He was really
But I thought Tom Skerritt was on a number of westerns
He
on the
was. He was
TV
on all
show.
kinds of stuff.
Uh
He did a lot of westerns.
huh. Well, that's 91. My God, it's amazing how
91
long
years
some of them are
old.
living with the longevity nowadays. But I thought it was a pretty decent episode. Um, the whole thing, of course, uh, it it may have centered a little too much around the kid.
Too much.
Um,
Yeah, that was kind of distracting a little bit.
right.
The kid was.
I
I thought he was an important, pivotal historical figure for a second that we were supposed to take notice of, but he just turned out to be the kid brother.
right.
yeah.
And I agree with you, and it was a little distracting, especially because the kid puts on his granny glasses,
Oh
and
my
you think
God,
that
yeah.
makes him looking.
When he
Remember those granny
how
glasses?
come people come back from, like, you know how he goes into the time tunnel, the kid does? How come everybody else lands on their 2 feet except Doug and Tony? Everybody else doesn't do that shit and spin and fall everywhere. Everybody else lands on their feet.
Because in the contract that they sign, it specifically states that they shall land on their feet and during scenes like that. And
Because they don't want to roll.
apparently, James Darren and Robert Cobert didn't have that luxury. But I thought,
Apparently not.
but I thought the way they landed in the beginning of this episode on hay bales and
Yeah.
they were able to roll over them to hit the floor. That was at least probably something to break the tension of falling and breaking your hip, because I think they always had that. They always had that possibility, but this was pretty good.
They actually did try to kill Lincoln in 1861, but they were trying to bum rush him with, shoot him and whatnot. But Pinkerton actually did sneak him into Washington, of which they kind of, ridiculed Lincoln for that, saying he snuck into Washington. I didn't know about that. I'd never heard about that part of Lincoln's history, so I looked that up immediately. It was a true story, but Pinkerton didn't save his life.
They seem to do their research pretty well in terms of the historical stuff.
They did pretty good on this. They actually did.
Yeah.
The timeline was preserved. Lincoln arrives as usual. Nothing has changed,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I did not know that the abolitionists actually wanted to take him out before he became president to speed up the process of the war. But, Brown was a real radical dude. But he's an interesting historical character. I mean, he was just badass. He was mean as a striped snake too. I guess he'd shoot anybody, but he was for that cause.
And they had Pinkerton.
That was, huh?
And they had Pinkerton.
Yeah. Well, he finally he does the big stuff for the railroads coming later.
Right.
That's when Pinkerton made his money. Is when he, kept getting robbed by Jesse James and everybody else.
And he did a dumb cop, a very good dumb cop.
He always played something hardcore like that. That particular actor who played Pinkerton, and his name is eluding me.
R.G. Armstrong. Yeah. He's been a heavy. He's been a heavy. What were you going to say, Jewel?
Want to hear a fun fact?
Yeah.
The Pinkerton Detective Agency, which is still around,
right,
sent a cease and desist letter to Rockstar for the use of the Pinkerton Agency in the game Red Dead Redemption 2.
Really?
Really?
Wow, how random.
and Rockstar said, no, we're not going to do that. Go after yourself.
Go ahead, sue us.
Yeah, sue us.
We're going to sell a couple million more.
Sue us. Which is just funny.
That is funny. I did not know that.
The
Pinkerton. I knew they were around, but I thought they were just. You don't really hear of anybody using them.
You can. Well, for historical accuracy, you can actually hear them about in the movie The Assassination of Jesse James, told by the coward Robert Ford, which is very accurate in a lot of ways, because they determined that James became so paranoid he saw Pinkerton agents everywhere. But I mean, everybody
dogged him bad though. They were really after him. I mean, what was that movie? What was it? Oh, Butch and Sundance. Remember that when they were, I don't know, they were running from a posse, but they kept looking back. Who are those guys? It's like, who are those guys?
Yeah. And it's like, were they really killed? Question mark.
I still think that they lived out there like in Bolivia.
Yeah.
I do not think they got killed because they archaeologically dug up and those tombs down there or the graves in Bolivia, and they do not match anything about those two men. So I would like to think that they actually got away with it. Anybody crazy enough to rob a bank, as long as you don't kill anybody, you should get away with it. They got insurance.
Well, it's funny. Butch Cassidy's mother, she was informed of her son's death by mail, by Pony Express, and so the letter comes saying, "Well, your son died like a week or so ago," and she's like, "Well, that's." Or something like that, or a month ago or something. And she's like, well, that's funny. I heard from my son a week ago.
I was going to say, because I don't think Etta Place never remarried or Etta Place. There's a story there. There just is. Yeah. I think they ended up. I think they lived. I do. I think. I think a lot of people are on the beach with drinking a little umbrella in their glass.
Well, Butch Cassidy, who had he did have a notorious temper.
Yeah.
But he saved the attorney's life in a bar fight. The attorney was going to get killed, and this attorney had very high connections to the government. and he heard of Butch, and he said Butch Cassidy. He goes, you should really. He advised him. He goes, you should really quit robbing the railroads. He goes, I can set up a meeting between you, and you can trust me. He goes, you saved my life. I'm not going to backstab you. Now, historically, they say Butch Cassidy, he did wait, but they were late. The people were late for the meetings, and he took it as a sign of betrayal. I think they just put that in there for, well, yeah, he took it as a sign of betrayal, but they really met and made a deal.
Right.
I mean, because you could print anything you want.
You could. Back then, there was really no way to figure stuff out. It was all word of mouth.
Yeah.
But, that was South America. How primitive it must have been. Even, the Wild West was still kind of primitive. I can't imagine what it was like in South America. So that's an interesting story.
But yeah, we get Ford Rainey as Abe Lincoln here, which he did a good job.
Yeah, he did.
But
the whole thing is the beginning, though. Take me back there, because you've got 1865. You've got Ford's Theater. How did we get to 1861?
Because they explained that apparently the time tunnel made its own decision to link the two time periods.
Okay,
in that there were two assassination attempts, one of which was successful in 1865, but the time tunnel decided, apparently, and they actually talked about, I think, the time tunnel having a mind of its own. In being able to select two disparate events and with something big in common and put them together. So I think that's the explanation that they came up with for that.
Well, it's like with David, that was the young boy, right? Is that
David?
Was that his name?
Yep.
I just found that he was so calm and cool when they pulled him into the time tunnel with the timer bomb, which did not exist until the latter 1800s, and even then they were catching fast. But I had to look that up. I had to look up, was there time bomb? Was there clock bombs back then? No, there weren't, but it was a nice little whatever anyway. But the kid's in the time tunnel, and they bring him there to get the bomb so it doesn't blow up. But the whole part that's getting me is he's not freaking out. I mean, he's in the spinny thing with all these weird looking lab people like right ahead of him. And he's okay with it. He's talking like whatever. And then they throw all those tools at him, and he just gets that Phillips head screwdriver and just jams it in there.
Very polite kid, brought up well.
Very polite. Say, hey, I'm like 200 years ahead here.
And
nobody
told him, darling,
in the tunnel except the Roman soldier and prior. At least he tried to kill him. No, the Spartan. He tried to kill everybody. Everybody else just goes like, "Oh, this is cool. I'm just so over it."
Like, and told him, darling, which I thought was a little forward, but what the hell? I mean, she was trying to get his. She was trying to get his trust.
All of us. I call everybody sweetie, honey, whatever. And if I don't like you, I've got another litany of profanity for you. But I mean, we all call people that. Especially in the South. Everybody's a sweetie. Sugar britches.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Or as they say in Tennessee, sweetie pie.
Bless your heart. You can take it as bless your heart or a big insult. Usually insult people. Bless your heart. Okay.
Yeah, Sharon worked for a client who had a dog. The little dog's name was Sweetie Pie.
Sweetie Pie.
It was a small poodle, and she ran around, tore up the furniture. She did everything. She was one spoiled mutt, but that was her name, Sweetie Pie.
Sweetie Pie. Sweetie Pie. One of the Paw Patrol, the villain is Sweetie.
Yeah.
Paw Patrol. They called her Sweetie. I remember all that shit. That stuff's like so stuck in my head because of my grades. That's like normal woman again. But getting back to the Tony. Tony is back to doing what he does best and having to show the futility and moral cost of an assassination attempt, because it's always Tony. And then, but that one transaction between Doug and Lincoln in the train station. That was really cool. That was my favorite scene in the whole
Yeah.
show.
Yep.
I really liked that transaction. How he was trying to. They were talking about, well, because Lincoln did believe in sightseer, psychic kind of things. A lot of presidents have. But I thought that was really interesting because there's so much weird woo around Lincoln.
Well,
I mean,
again,
just
they
some
were
of the
able.
stuff, it just weird shit, that happened around that whole thing. But the transaction with him and Doug, I thought was really cool because it was kind of emotional too. It's just like, oh, it's Lincoln. They can't save him. Sort of like in Timeless, they couldn't save him in that one either. So I kept getting those. I had to really separate the two. You had to get me. I binge watched all those seasons of that Timeless. I couldn't stop watching it. So it's really a good companion to this. It really is. I mean, it's because they actually kind of did the same thing. It was kind
With
of
everything together. I know.
A lot of it seemed time tunnel-y to me. Now in retrospect, they must have had to have been a big nod to the time tunnel in some way.
Combination of the time tunnel and the time machine.
Yeah, that and maybe quantum. Well, quantum leap. Did quantum leap come earlier? Yeah, it did. Quantum leap did come earlier.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think, and again, this really separated the fact that Doug is the one to logically and calmly talk situations out, where Tony is the hothead and runs around.
Well, he's emotional. Tony's like he's I don't know, is he Italian or something? My family, I just have people like that in my family.
Mhm.
But I mean, he's just really emotional. And I mean, it was kind of cool how he's trying to tell, Jeremiah it's futile. And, the other brother, though, is just really hot all over it. He just wants to do it no matter what. But it also I thought it was funny, too, Tom Skerritt with those rabbits. It was a great alibi. He's like shooting up all that stuff. And he just pulls that dead rabbit out of his jacket. It's like, I'm shooting at all the rabbits. This is where they all are,
That was pretty good. No, that was pretty good. And it goes to show you how smart Pinkerton was.
Now that I'm starting to unpack it a little bit, it's actually quite good.
That's for sure. But you basically had the good guy, which was Tom Skerritt, who he had a good heart.
He was a bad guy, but he was a bad guy with a conscience at the time. I think they all had the right idea. They wanted to get rid of slavery, which was such a heinous concept. But, I mean, I can see where they want to speed it up, thinking that if they shot the president, that, that the North would go after the South that much quicker, because at that time, only 4 or 5 states had seceded. I'm surprised that they even allowed that much to happen. I mean, it's not like you can really secede. You can't do it now, could you? We hear about it in Texas a lot, but it would take a lot to do. Could Texas do it? Yeah, they could and survive, probably, being the 8th world economy. So I don't think it'd be too big of a problem, but it would mess up Social Security. Be a problem there.
That's one thing you don't need.
No, it's just interesting.
Back then.
No, but I mean, it's kind of interesting because they Doug, I'm trying to figure out, are they supposed to be telling everybody what happens? Like with Custer, you're all going to get wiped out. Lincoln, well, you are going to die, basically,
I think he's more careful. I think he's more careful with Lincoln because he doesn't want to say, well, in 4 years you'll be killed.
Well, he kind of was going down that path, and then Lincoln told him, no, I don't want to talk about me, because I want to talk about...
Right, he was backing off. He was backing off, and I think that was a good thing, because remember, Mr. Pinkerton, the idiot, is listening to every word, and as soon as he gets a chance, he'll try to chime in, because he hated Doug from the outset. It was only after Doug and Tony did him that favor that he let them both go with the bomb thing. But I think that Doug took a more, rather than talk about everything that's going to happen in the future, he was more circumspect about it.
Right.
And it was probably best, because look, the bottom line is You want to get the guy elected president. You don't want to tell him he'll be dead in 4 years if he's elected president.
No,
Uh,
that's kind of. I mean, how does that mess with things? Because somebody, I mean, it does. Can you imagine somebody goes back and wipes out your grandparents? Like you will not exist, and it's just
exactly,
kind of, you know,
exactly,
the whole concept
exactly,
of time travel is kind of like. But
exactly. And
but if you could, they say we run on parallel schematics,
it'd
astrally.
be
But who
interesting. That's always fascinating. The alternate history stuff has always fascinated me. I
It is.
forget the
It's a
name of the
fascinating concept. I mean, the universe is so vast. It's so. I mean, just look at this. They're tracking an alien craft right now. Have you guys been following
yeah.
that story? All of a sudden,
No,
Really?
no.
they've been
But now
following.
that now they've got
It's not.
aliens.
It's not. It's not rock. It's not a comet. It's not nothing. But the shit is being manned, and you can see it. It's a
Uh,
freaky story, and there's a lot of people saying they're hostile and they're coming to Earth finally. I'm just like, bring it. I just don't
wow,
care anymore.
wow.
Yeah, I'll send you the article. It's really interesting. It's been all over the news.
Sounds good.
But it
Yeah.
was, but this has been the three brothers. You got one that's kind of in the middle. You got one that's radical, and you got the little boy. And you're right, Tom. They did spend a lot of time in the young man tonight. They did.
It's
But
what?
I guess he was the protagonist of Conscience, maybe, or is that Tony,
What the kid?
the kid? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's funny. He just put that,
Well, I
stop.
think he was torn. He was clearly torn between the two, and he was somebody that was raised well for some reason and
Well,
wanted
he
to
knew
do the
right from
right thing.
wrong, whereas his elder brothers didn't quite so much.
At least the brothers didn't impinge. The bad brother didn't teach him too much. I think he was basically raised by Tom Skerritt, who basically taught him the good stuff. And
Right.
he comes across as somebody who wants to help, but he's torn. And that's the whole point of the episode, to establish the conflict between the two brothers and actually there are three brothers. There are three brothers, and these two, and David's the youngest brother. So I think it's interesting that they tried to do that. What do you think of what kind of points would you give the episode? I give it a 7.5 or
No,
an
I'll
eight.
give it an 8.5 easy. But I'd almost give it a 9. I really like this one. But I did look. But I
Uh-huh.
did find they did take. Okay, we got the stock footage. We had Civil War military scenes lifted from earlier. Most likely the raid 1954 for the cavalry and street shots. And they stole the Civil War sequences for the blue and the gray, which I thought that was a series back in Blue and the Gray. When was that on? I can't remember. It's been probably like the 90s, maybe one of those 90s series. Remember the series, 90s? There was always a series on, like John Jake's Epic, North and South or whatever, of which I watch every time it's on, by the way. They said they used Ford Theater exteriors. They used a matte shot from the 30s, which was a historical picture of it.
Good. It was a good. It was a good shot.
Yeah,
Uh,
it really looked like it. It did, because I remember seeing it before. They said that they used the Prince of Players footage, allowing Alan to include historically accurate details of Booth's escape without expensive restaging. I have not seen Prince of Players. I have never seen that one. But they said Lincoln's desk and Oval Office furnishings were redressed from Fox's executive office sets from Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Land of the Giants. And they had a simple American flag of the correct era and oil lamps, and they had used that and several other things too. So, I mean, he just cannibalizes the whole Fox set, it sounds like,
Yep.
every time he makes one of these episodes. But they said they reused their costumes from The Story of Mankind and Brigham Young. One was 1957, Brigham Young 1940. They
They
borrowed from.
really raided They
From
really
Cap, oh
raided
yeah,
the
the
studio.
Oval Office style desk is a redressed prop from The Sound of Music used in Captain Von Trapp's study scenes. I mean, you got everything. I mean, it's just like they must just leave all this shit just right there in the back lot, and everybody just goes does anybody like a library card check this stuff out? I guess
It's like going to your local Goodwill.
it sounds like that way. And the Secret Service portrayal shows Lincoln being protected in a way that didn't exist at the time. The real Secret Service wasn't assigned to presidential protection until after the assassination is when that started. After Lincoln's assassination. I did not know that until I just looked that up, dude. I love it when I learn something new in real time.
Yeah, Pinkerton himself was warning Lincoln of death threats.
Yeah.
Which that's actually in one of the Lincoln movies too. Because again, that's when the Pinkerton Agency was formed around the time of Lincoln. So,
like I said, they made most of their money with the railroad, though.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Business was booming when the railroads went up. I binged a series about that, the railroad going up. Oh, Hell on Wheels. Did you watch any of that?
Yes.
This was awesome. I wish I was like, oh, I hated when I got to the end of the season. I wanted to see what happened to him. Did he get to China? You know,
the two best Western series so far. Deadwood's number one.
Deadwood absolutely is number one.
And I would say Hell on Wheels is number two.
Hell on Wheels. You should watch that, Tom. You love it. It's about how the railroad was built.
No, number three would be Have Gun Will Travel.
Yeah.
Wild West would be fourth.
Wild West is definitely going to be up there.
That was a great show. I wonder if it's on anywhere, actually. Probably is. I can find anything of the Roku
No
TV.
offense to the Gunsmoke fans.
I liked Gunsmoke. I always thought that, the sheriff and Miss Kitty should hook up. That never happened, though. I couldn't figure out, was Miss Kitty just a performer or was Miss Kitty a working girl?
Probably both.
She was a painted lady.
Well.
Oh, my gosh, bro.
Miss Kitty, I mean, come on. I mean, really? My mind goes to wild places.
Apparently. We're good. We're good. Jewel, how many points would you give this episode?
Solid 9 out of 10. This is really good. They did a great job with the research. They did.
They really did a good job of the research this time. They actually, except for the time bomb kind of thing, that was a little sketchy. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it made it more exciting because that was just a basic. They were going to try to shoot him, and Lincoln actually did not have hardly anybody protecting him when he got on that train in Baltimore. He just had a few guards, and they dressed him down, and nobody knew who he was in the real thing. But in this, I mean, he's kind of like sitting right there in front of the window on the train. It's like, come on.
I think people forget too that Lincoln himself, in a letter he wrote, he told Pinkerton, "Look, I appreciate what you're doing, but I don't need you around me 24/7."
Yeah,
and,
no
one's a mind reader. Oh my gosh,
that's some crazy stuff. I'm with Joel on that though. 9 definitely. This is one of I really enjoyed this episode a lot.
I'm going to give it an 8.5 because you're right. The research was really done well.
Well, they got most of it. Like they did really good on it, But the true mechanical time bombs with clockwork mechanisms, they were rare, bulky, and dangerous. They did try to make them, but they're like experimental. They used them like Confederate soldiers try to make them, during like for guerrilla warfare kind of stuff. But they said it really didn't come around to the latter 1800s that they actually kind of got them working. I never thought about that. It's like, did they have ticking time bombs back then? Just like, I imagine you could make one.
They could have used regular old dynamite, but it was probably a little too, for story time purposes, probably a little too uncontrolled. So they probably wanted something, let's use something a little more modern. Yeah, they didn't have it back then, but what the hell? We did a good job
Yeah, well,
already.
I always got to take the piss out of some stuff, I mean, it's kind of fun because, I mean, when you think about they did so good for 1960s. It was really, I remember
Mhm.
like Land of the Giants and the stuff. And I mean, I was in awe when I was 5 years old and all this for, I mean, I just sat by my TV and waited for Land of the Giants to come on. I would get really upset if my mother didn't let me watch Laugh-In too. I used to like Laugh-In, but I wasn't allowed to watch Laugh-In. I think it's because Goldie Hawn painted herself up, stuff like that. My mother, that was too racy for me. Oh my God, the world has changed so much. It's just
I don't
crazy.
know.
But like I said, the best, I'd say the best, I gave it a 9 just because of that one exchange between Lincoln and Doug. I thought that was awesome. I loved that. It was kind of like heartfelt, bittersweet kind of scene because we all know what's going to happen. And we all know what Doug's struggling with that. He knows what's going to happen. But at least he tells, Lincoln that everybody's going to remember him forever. And he was going down, he had a
That
huge.
was definitely the best scene between Doug and Lincoln.
He was kind of a short Lincoln, though. Lincoln was over like 6'4", wasn't he?
He was what?
Tall boy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a tall guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he was a tall guy.
He was kind of a shorter
dude here.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
He wasn't like Vampire Hunter Lincoln.
It's funny because David Selby once played Lincoln. I think he's Selby's height.
David Selby does a lot of the Lincoln stuff. He was talking about that when we interviewed him a few years back about his Lincoln.
Yeah.
What is he?
Broadway
6'3"?
stuff that he's doing.
Yeah,
I think he must be 6'3". He's a tall guy.
Yeah,
he's a tall guy, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess we're on. I'm sorry.
I said I'm 6'3".
Are you really? Are you that tall?
Mm-hmm.
No,
I'm no longer the tallest person in the house anymore. My son has passed me by.
Isn't that crazy? My boys, they're like 6'5". I'm 5'2", and my kids are like a foot over my head. 6'2", 6'3".
And he's only 14.
When Justin was alive, him and my other son used to like throw me around like a rag doll and play pinball with me. Just because they're so much.
And I'm 5'5".
I'm just like, I was like, what happened? I'm sitting here looking at my kids. I just can't believe you guys came out of my body. You're like 6'2", 3". Crazy.
I'm 5'5", and my fiance's 5'10".
There you go.
And so I call myself the short little fella. She calls me the short little fella.
She picks on you. She pick on you, Tom.
She went to a restaurant once looking for me, and I was sitting somewhere.
I thought you were tall.
You thought I was taller?
I thought
I used to be a couple inches taller, but
we all used to be taller. It's not the years, it's the mileage.
Yes.
No, I'm 5'5", but I appreciate you. I'm just an inch more than you.
At least you're still taller than me. At least somebody. I mean, the only time I was taller than everybody was when I was in Thailand. It was a sea of black heads. It's just like I was finally taller than everybody. It's like, they're little people, sweet people.
Yeah.
They were all so sweet.
Yeah.
So the next episode is going to be the Alamo, then.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I haven't seen it, so I'm kind of excited for the Alamo.
It's pretty good.
The timeless Alamo. Of course, there's the timeless Alamo.
Pretty good. They always had to have a time travel episode concerning the Alamo.
Have you guys watched 28 Years Later yet?
No, I've not.
You've got to watch it. I watched it yesterday. You've got to watch it. It's so good. And the new Jurassic Park, it was just fun dinosaurs. It was just fun. I can't hate anything Jurassic Park. I mean, never going to be as good as the first two, but I still love the dinosaurs. It's great.
Was she in that movie, the blonde?
5 episodes, Tom. You got to catch up.
Was she in that movie, the blonde who was the daughter of a famous actress? I forget who it is.
For what show?
What's that?
What show was that?
In Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park.
Oh gosh. I know her name.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I
Her
wonder if
father.
she
What's his
was
name? Bruce Dern. Yeah, Dern.
well,
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern. That's
Laura
it.
Dern.
Laura
That was it.
Dern.
I was gonna look it up. I wasn't gonna let y'all go till I remembered that name. It's
There
gonna
you
make me
go.
crazy.
Was she in this movie?
No. They weren't. This was well, Scarlett Johansson was in it and a few other people, but I really enjoyed it. I just like the dinosaurs. They're trying to get, samples to save the world, like heart disease and stuff. So they have to get up close and personal and get blood samples from the dinosaurs. The rest is history. It says it's always ooh, ah, and then there's the running and the screaming. Yeah. Lots of running and screaming.
Where they performed the injection in the tail?
No, they had to. I'm not gonna tell you. You got to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it for Jules' audience.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm good. So, does anybody have anything further to add regarding?
I always have
this
to add.
episode? Jewel?
No, I got nothing to add. I got to go bath my kid here.
All right.
All right.
Good times.
So next Sunday at 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Sounds
I hear
good.
whispering.
Yeah, my son be it getting in my ear. Link to the Literate License podcast will be in the description box. You can get Tom and Vicki on Facebook. Check them out. Go hit them up. Go add them as a contact. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Oh, before you go, I gotta mention something. I was very impressed with that graphic that you used.
Oh, I liked the graphic too. That was nice.
I thought
Good
that
job,
was a great graphic.
Thank you.
You restored my faith.
It was huge. I was like, I texted Tom. I go, was that a big enough graphic for you, Tom?
That's the kind of graphic that will attract people who have never seen it before.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I think it's a fantastic graphic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, really, guys, y'all be good.
I'm glad you found it.
Yep. Have a great one.
Bye.
Take care now.
Take care.
Bye.